So this is a video response to Dan Brown's open letter to educators. I was checking some of the responses and the discussion that was happening on YouTube, and I decided to make a video of it. The first thing I'd like to address to is the communication factor. Anything that may change the status quo or the things people already understand may sound strange, new and different. Therefore people tend to be scared and reject it from start. The second issue is when you must explain something that is complex and must be understood in layers, so to speak, the other part, the listening part, gotta be able to understand all the layers and put back together a picture of the whole, of everything that is being told and understand it. They gotta be able to understand everything you're saying in order even to criticize it and to say, I agree with that, or I disagree with this, or I truly agree with everything you said, or I disagree with everything you said. So the first problem is how they understand what you're saying. Since the matter here is education, most people usually understand this as something that is there and they all know by heart it's good and it shouldn't be touched. I mean, the education nowadays, like school, college and everything. I mean, who the hell are you to say that school is bad, you know? Everybody knows it's good. And the thing is, people will arrange excuses in order to ease their mind about what you're saying, you know, like bend everything you're saying, so they can rearrange the facts, and they usually don't get what you're saying in the end. Most of the responses I saw were something like this: people not getting the full picture or not understanding what you're saying. Again, this is natural, normal, and people do it all the time. Some people that have had out-of-the-box experiences usually tend to be more open-minded to new ideas, might even understand what you're saying or not. But in first glance, they will understand what you're saying in the way you're saying it. And their disagreement or agreement in totality or in part will be more valid. This can be applied in romantic relationships, friendships, in school, in social life itself. Bottom line is, you want people to understand a very strange concept. So in order for people to rearrange their notion of education, they must be educated persons, and I mean not only like school and college, but people who read, for instance. If they're curious, they had a whole bunch of experiences and know things by making mistakes and learning from them. I mean, this type of education, okay? I'd like to talk to another example. I don't know if you guys ever heard about the Venus Project. The Venus Project brings a tilt in our understanding of scarcity, abundance and money itself. So it shifts the paradigm of scarcity. That's our capitalism, our socialism, our communism, all the social economic based models that we live nowadays. It tilts to the technology part of everything. The first time I saw that, I was like, okay, so a society where there's no money, how can that even be possible? And it was so hard for me to understand it. I took like 2 weeks or so, like reading about it and seeing films and everything. But by the end I understood the concept. So I could agree or disagree in part or in whole. Most videos I see criticizing the Venus Project are just hate videos, period. They don't usually strike the matter in the core or the layers, as I was saying before. So that's kind of hard to see something so well developed and all the criticism like not being as fundamented or being as based on another idea. And all this just I hate you type of videos and texts, they do that without understanding the concept or even checking the facts and the veracity of them. So aim for an audience. Learn to filter the opinions that comes to you. To the ones who are willing to understand it, explain it over and over. I mean, that's my opinion anyway. About the issue at hand, I like to address the fact that in ancient Greece, all the classes were held outside of classrooms. And teachers that, sure, they were there to lead, but also they were there to think, to criticize. They were there to observe, to take notes themselves, and to discuss, mainly. But the ideas were encouraged to be taken from the students. So nowadays, what we got? Some kid that's in college, in third year, should really have to go back to the first year and relearn everything, because so many things have changed since then. This is a fact nowadays. You don't even need to think really hard about it. I mean, in the last 20 years, a whole bunch of things happened. The amount of information, the amount of things produced are getting exponentially bigger and faster. So you pointed out a huge transformation on education itself. And yes, information could be more exchanged instead of just being taught. I truly believe that the basis and grounds of education nowadays, such as mathematics, history, geology, it's absolutely necessary. But when it comes to forming professionals that will develop their work in jobs in industry, for example, all that college and go there and get in the book and study in the book will probably get 90% of repeating parrots and 10% really creative and geniuses on their experiences. Why not? I mean, the information is out there. The true educators nowadays are the ones that are being able to separate the garbage from the true knowledge. Things are being updated so fast, and especially college education should follow this evolution by its form and methods. I'm just a guy who understands that work is something you live by instead of putting up with, because it consumes not only your time and your effort, but your love, your soul, and your life itself. Create something you can be proud of, something that generations to come might remember, or if they don't remember, they will be able to get in touch with it. Our social evolution gave us technology, but machines should do the dirty work. So we humans can make beautiful things like art, like design, like heart valves, and even more sophisticated, renewable energy, dirty working machines. Why not? Humans in the end should be full-time researchers and producers of nature itself by learning and teaching each other all the time.